The lie that you have been told is that you are a stoner and that you're not a businessman or businesswoman or business person, however you want to phrase it. So you don't have the right to start your own graphic designing company and target cannabis businesses, which you understand more than any other graphic designer who is not of that culture, right?
Right,
So it's a
right.
cultural thing where people who are selling us the products that we consume don't even know how to speak to us.
What's up? Life of a hustler, gotta do it for mother, gotta do it for father, even though he act like a sucker. Life of a hustler, gotta do it for granny, gotta do it for brothers, even if they think I don't love them. Been getting active and hustling.
What's up? We back with another episode of the More Action Podcast. I'm here at Podcast Summit 2025, getting interviews, you know what I'm saying? Here with my main man, Keenan Coke. I'm going to let him explain his business ventures, what he's into, you know, what he used to be into. We're just going to have a little conversation, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, let him know.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. My name is Keenan Coke. My podcast is called From Stoner to Owner, where originally we was teaching people how to leverage their business, their talents and ideas in the cannabis industry. But now God told me that that's not what he has planned for me. What he has planned for me is to leverage myself and my own story to show people how they need to quite literally go from a stoner to a person that takes ownership over their life, their ideas, and then their business.
That's what's up, man. How long you been working on that?
I've been working on From Stoner to Owner for 3 years. When I first started, I shot it immediately live in a classroom style. I booked the classroom. I sold tickets.
Right.
I sold sponsorships. And then I would interview somebody who was working in the cannabis industry. And then on the second part, it was a 2.5 hour session. First hour podcast, giving the example. Second hour is me presenting on how people can do it in their lives. So it was literally a workshop that I formatted as a podcast.
Nice. I mean, that's interesting, man. A lot of people like to get into different things, and it's just refreshing to hear someone say, you know, I had a business. Pretty much, it sounds like you created this lane. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see too many people doing what you just described.
I didn't even know that I needed it, or look, I'll tell you what happened. What happened was,
give us a story, man. Yeah, go ahead.
What had happened was, is I'm working in Colorado in the cannabis industry, in the cannabis space.
Okay.
And then I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and with my wife at the time, right? And we're both working in the cannabis space adjacent to the plant. What that means is that these are ancillary businesses that do not touch the plants. Legal, compliant businesses that do not touch the plants. So think, in the legal cannabis space, you go to a dispensary. What do first? You walk through a door.
And you got to show your ID.
You got to show your ID. Right? What do you do when you buy the product? You get it packaged in a dram. There's artwork on the products. There's so many other things that go into receiving the product that people don't realize that they're missing out on.
So do you think cannabis is just like one of the businesses that you can pretty much create multiple streams of income, or do you think that's something anybody could do? Because like how you just described, yeah, you walking into the store to buy some cannabis, but then it leads to the other things and the packaging and other things like that. In other businesses, do you think it's possible to pretty much expand your income streams and still stay centered?
I think it's, to answer your question really shortly, no. To answer your question in a little bit more detailed space, yes, because you have to have your core offer like any other business. I do this thing.
Right.
And then you want to have other ways you can make money off of the thing that you do. Right? So, for example, what I was teaching people, if you are a graphic artist and you think that you're a stoner, the lie that you have been told is that you are a stoner and that you're not a businessman or businesswoman or business person, however you want to phrase it. So you don't have the right to start your own graphic designing company and target cannabis businesses, which you understand more than any other graphic designer who is not of that culture, right?
Right,
So it's a
right.
cultural thing where people who are selling us the products that we consume don't even know how to speak to us. And we have been conditioned as stoners to think that we're not good enough to make these products and be a part of the business side of it.
And see, that's a really good point because I don't know if you've seen The Grass is Greener on Netflix, but they basically talk about
I have.
how, they
They pushed out all the people who
right.
were of the culture, and mind you, I moved to Colorado in 2016 because I was in the music space, and I saw cannabis becoming legal. They were in Chicago. The prison pipeline system is a real thing. They spent a lot of time trying to lock people up for cannabis, and I realized that they were silently trying to legalize it, and they were only going to give it to a set couple people, and they were going to block everybody who they pushed away and that didn't look like the people who they wanted it to look like, right?
Man, you're telling some good stuff because basically over time they found a way to use it against us. But what I'm slowly seeing, with guys like yourself is making cannabis look corporate.
Yeah.
How would you advise someone who is basically looking at themselves like, man, all I do is smoke weed.
Stop smoking weed.
So you want so you don't
That's
think
what I had to do.
to get into the
So when
business side of it.
when I first started my podcast, this is why I shot 10 episodes.
Okay.
I paid money. I had a team. I had a funnel. I had a website. I threw live events. I threw workshops. And God told me, none of this matters because you are still smoking weed. You're not the example they need. You have to be, if you're going to do business. I'm not saying that smoking weed is wrong or right or anything like that, because we do have a massive in our body called the endocannabinoid system. Our body is supposed to be intaking cannabinoids. It doesn't have to be psychoactive though. That's why things like CBD and all that stuff exist.
Hey man, explain it, man, because this is some nice talk I'm hearing. You honestly are giving me a lot of good information because I feel like talking to people who smoke and everything feel like they can't make it that far
because it's a mindset thing.
Because it's a mindset.
You remember yesterday at the podcast summit? I'll tell you guys right now. At the podcast summit, we were blessed to get ET come out. ET came out and he was like, "Yeah, you feel like that because you got low self-esteem." One of the reasons why we have low self-esteem is because we smoke weed. Every time we have a problem, we smoke it away. It's the same thing with drinking and anything like that. Any substance that you use to offset how you feel is working against you. We got to lean into our feelings. We can't walk away from them or run away from them. And the thing with business is that you can't hide at all when you're doing business. And if you think that you're about to walk into somebody's life and say, pay me money for this service or this product, and you're not willing for them, you're not ready for them to say no or ask you questions or reject you or anything like that, you're in for a really bad surprise. It's a lot of that. You're gonna get 10 no's just to get one yes, and that's what you want. You only want the one yes. But the problem is that we ran away from our problems so much as stoners. They told us that we weren't nothing. They told us that we don't know what we're talking about, that we're the bottom of the barrel. And the truth of the matter is, the whole time they were stealing our ideas
and not smoking. That's all the key
they
was.
They was just stealing the ideas. It was like, I'm gonna make money off this.
All right. So I mean, if y'all are paying attention, he's not saying cannabis is wrong.
No.
He's saying if you're trying to take it seriously and do a business, in Colorado, these legal states, maybe you need to take a break from your supply. You know what I mean? I don't get high on your own supply. I've heard that plenty of times.
Yeah.
They meant that, I guess. I mean, you're looking at a business owner who actually was in the business, and he can tell you, that you don't need to indulge in smoking, especially if you're trying to earn and create a lifelong business around that product. Just because McDonald's was created, do you think the owner eats the burgers every day? That's pretty
they talk
much
about how they don't all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't, go watch the movie The Founder. It's a pretty interesting movie. But
I'll give you an even better one. If you haven't, read the book Made in America by Sam Walton and watch how he shows you that the people who were counted out, the mom and pop owners of dollar stores, were the people who made Walmart a $1 trillion organization, and his whole entire family line in a smaller span of time than any other family in the world.
Wow.
Billionaires. It's
He didn't even speak millions. We talking trillions and billions.
Trillions and billions.
Hey, that
Like,
sounds like a pretty good read.
This dude
Go ahead,
started
say
with
the title
dollar
one more
stores.
time.
Made in America by Sam Walton. Essentially, the story is going to tell you how the people who are counting you out because they want to steal your ideas, and they want you to think that you're crazy and that you're not good enough. And I fell for the trap. Somebody else who's going to watch this probably fell for the trap.
Or falling for it.
There's
right now.
falling for it right now. But I'm telling you, it is a lie. You are good at what you do. You can be even better at what you do, and you cannot run from your own talent. Your talent's gonna be there, reminding you every day, oh, I could have did this, I could have did that, I could have make money off this. When you can do it, if you just ask the question, you just meet the person, and you put yourself in position to do uncomfortable and fearful things.
Yeah.
That's really all it is really showing people how to transfer the things that they're already good at into the industry they want to be in, make offers around that, and be your own business. Take ownership of your own ideas, of your own self, and make your own business. That's it.
There's definitely levels to this. So basically, if you're sitting at home smoking weed right now, ask yourself, is this something I'm trying to develop into a business? Am I really trying to grow? Maybe I need to quit, a couple of my habits that probably aren't so bad.
Yeah, it may
but
not
it's
be cannabis.
helping you. Yeah, it may not be cannabis.
It may not be
you
cannabis.
May be sitting at home, watching too much TV,
Yep.
too much Netflix, but you could actually be the person creating the next Netflix.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe your interest is one of the things you're indulging in. There's producers and there's consumers. We are trying to be on the producer side of things. So this video is for anybody who feels like they're behind and, looked at as less than because of what they indulge in. But in reality, the very thing bringing you down can bring you up. So I appreciate
That's how it always works. I love that. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Good information, man. And this was a short episode, but
Hey,
go ahead and run it back.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Because my man is bringing you a whole bunch of stories, not just like this, but like all the things that's going to cover success, self-mastery, and things of that sort.
Every time.
Every
More
time.
Action Podcast. It's your boy, Brandon.
Take action today.
Go ahead and let them know where they can
Look,
find
Keenan
you.
Coke. You can find me as on Keenan Coke on all platforms, anywhere on the internet. I'm not hard to find.
Good to go. Until next time, some more Action Podcast. Go do something.